Welcome, it's Winnie from Bella Sunshine. It's been a week now since I've been back from my vacation, and I needed a vacation from my vacation. I was so tired. I needed some rest, and then we celebrated Father's Day, and then my birthday, and my sister was in town. So I've been really busy and haven't had the chance to do a follow-up on what I ended up taking with me at the airport, or actually not just at the airport, but with me on my vacation. So let's go ahead and talk about that. If you haven't seen on how I made this video, or not video, if you haven't seen on how I made this journal, I will leave the link below. But like I said, I was going to take this and I was going to take a couple of things that I thought I would need, like glue, scissors, and all that stuff. After I posted the video, I started thinking really hard and I wanted to be realistic. So I went ahead and decided not to take any of that stuff. I had a feeling that I was going to be too tired to do any type of crafting. I'm going to be too busy, and by the time we get to the hotel, I'm going to be exhausted. So all I needed was some kind of thing where I can put, postcards, receipts, and souvenirs that I wanted to keep along with me because I did want to make a journal for this trip. I just need to make it later after I'm back. So crazy me decided to make an envelope journal. And so I made this. I did the cover the same way as I made this. And I just try to make it plain, not too much to it. I did some hand sewing here, right here also. And then the rest of the sewing that you're seeing is basically from my machine. Added a lace and a flower, and that was pretty much it for my cover. If you are interested, the size on this is 7.5 by 10.5. I wanted something big that if you fold a sheet of paper that it's going to fit in the pocket. So with this one, it took me about a day and a half to make. Now, keep in mind, there was a lot of downtime in there. I had to wait till things were dry from the glue, and then I had to rest in between because I'm still dealing with my injury. So I think you can technically finish this if you started this in the morning. By bedtime, you're going to be able to finish it. And of course, there's going to be breaks in between. So it's a really easy process. If you guys are interested in me doing a tutorial on how I made this, I'm willing to do another one. Just leave a comment below and I'm more than happy to make one, because I think eventually I'm going to want to make one for maybe 14 days. I only did 7 days because for this trip, that's all I needed. But if you go on a longer trip, you're going to need more envelopes. So with this one, I only have seven envelope. I have a pocket in the front using the magnet closure. And I have the same thing here for the back. And of course, with this one, the envelopes were empty. I did add just a couple of paper just in case I needed something. And I had some paper clips in here in case I needed to clip something to the envelope. So that's pretty much it that I took. I had this I had it in here with a pen. And I wish I had a scissor. I totally forgot to bring a scissor. I had to go buy one over there. And I just had this in my big bag while I was traveling, sightseeing at the airport and everything. And anytime that I was in a rush, for that day, I just put it in here. And then at night, I was able to put it in the envelope. So that's pretty much all I took with me for this trip. And honestly, this was perfect. So perfect for me because I'm able to be organized. So on day one, everything that we did, it's all in here. And let me show you guys what I have. We went to a restaurant for our anniversary, and they were nice enough to give us an anniversary card, and they also gave us a free dessert. And there's just a lot of, you know, I kept this from the hotel that we stayed at, my, what do you call this, my tag for my luggage. I just kept everything because I didn't know what I'm gonna end up using making my journal. So that was day 1. And then you got day 2 here full of stuff. As you can see, there's some doilies in there that I was able to get from places we ate at, shopped. There's some postcards and receipts. And here's some menu from a restaurant we ate at, and then the hotel little brochure where we stayed at. So, and look, it's just a perfect size, not a problem. So here's day 3, and then I have day 4, and then there's 7 and 6 are pretty empty. So with this one, I used scrapbook paper. And let me just show you guys what the inside looked like. There's the inside, you got a pocket there, and then you have a pocket here. So to me, that was enough, that was plenty. I made sure my flap for the closure, or not the closure, for the envelope was long enough so it doesn't, you know, stay open. Realistically, I think the next one I'm gonna make this fatter, because when they have stuff in it, you see that, especially on one, I think if it's a little bit longer, it might be better. I think, I'm not sure, I'll have to do a test on that, but that's what I was trying to avoid. So I don't want to do any closure because it's gonna get too bulky. So this is what I took with me. Before I let you guys go, I wanted to just kind of share with you guys, my husband took me to an antique place and to some thrift store while we were on vacation. And there's just a couple of things that I was really excited about and I wanted to share with you guys. So for instance, I got this stamp, these old-fashioned stamp thing. Well, I don't know if they're old-fashioned, but I love the look of these. And what this one prints, it prints this. It says account number, P.O. box, the ship date, just a blank kind of thing. And then the little one prints number. And so you can actually make it into a date. So that would be June 12, 2024 is what it would read. And I just love the look, and I think, you know, I can use it for decoration. Then I also got a couple of stamps. I've never heard of Close to My Heart stamp thing, but it came in this envelope. This was like $3, and I just love the stamp, so I had to buy it. Then I found my Winnie the Pooh stamp. As you can see, it's not even used. You still have to attach this to the block. I don't have any Winnie the Pooh stamps, so I thought, hey, perfect. And I love that some of these are the classic Winnie the Pooh pictures. So I'm really excited about that. Then I found a Sizzix for $3, so not too bad. I got a couple more stamps. 50 cents embossing powder, so I thought that was a good deal. Then I found some vellum I'm really excited about, and there's even one that's decorated. I don't know if you guys can see, it's got yellow decoration in there. Then I didn't know that tracing paper came in a different type of thickness, but I found this tracing paper, and I swear I thought it was vellum. I mean, it feels like vellum. Look at that. It's thick. So I thought, you know, for $2, why not? But what I was really excited about was we went to this antique place, and this guy was selling a bunch of stamps. Oh my gosh, I wanted to buy them all, but I didn't want to go crazy. But look at this. There's a lot of them. This was $2.75. I got some of these for the colors, and some of them are for the design. I mean, I have been looking for postage stamp that's been canceled, so I was really excited about seeing this. But then the most important thing, I saw this at a thrift store and I bought it for 99 cents. I thought it was a notebook, but when I opened it at the store, my husband was kind of like, "What? You didn't know?" It is a stamp holder. As you can see, there's pockets for stamp. I have been wanting one of this. I see everybody using theirs and I'm like, gosh, I can't find that in the US. But I finally found one and it's nice and big. And there are only 5 pages, so there's 10. Which is plenty. I'm not gonna have a bunch of stamps in there. I might end up using some of this for labels, but I was so excited. There's a couple of tips I wanted to share with you guys. I went ahead and sent myself some postcard. Before I left for my trip, I went to the post office and got me some postage for postcards. So I was able to just do some postcard and mail them. You can have the hotel mail them for you. So it's really easy, but your important thing is that stamp. So I did that. The second is when we were traveling or sightseeing, we went to Multnomah Falls and we stopped at this little place here, and in there is a gift shop. And in the gift shop, sometimes I think depending on the attraction, if it's big enough, they'll have like a little museum, or maybe even the gift shop might have it. So this one had one in there, and in that little museum they had a stamping station. So they had this stamp, and then they had this, and then they had this. And so I just did a page stamp for myself, and then they also give out stickers that you can put in your book. I thought that was pretty neat. So I left there without thinking. Then we kept driving through the scenic route, which was, oh my gosh, Portland, Oregon itself is beautiful. We drove along the coast. The weather was perfect. Everything was great. Scenery. I would love to go back. I mean, it was really pretty. So with the scenic route, there's another stop that you can do, which is called the Vista House, which is on top of a mountain. And when you're out there, you can have a beautiful, beautiful view. So inside here, there was another little gift shop with a little museum, and they also have some stamp. And so this is their stamp for that building, and I guess even for the date, which is kind of neat. So you can see this one, it says Vista House, and this one, it says the Falls, and that's on the same date. So I thought that was really cool. There's a funny story I wanted to tell you guys. So when we arrived at the Vista House, and I got the stamp, left, went in the car, and I thought, hey, honey, wait a second. I want to go back inside and have her stamp my book. So I went inside and I wanted her to stamp here. And there was another lady there, and she saw my book and she goes, oh, is that a junk journal? And I was so surprised because you don't normally know people that know of junk journal. At least I've never met one that just kind of knows what a junk journal is. So I was really surprised, and I said, yeah, it is. And so she was looking at it, and she was telling me how she's just started and how she went to a class. And so while we're having this discussion about the junk journal community and stuff, there was a guy that was standing there, and he was just listening to our conversation. Then finally he goes, wait a minute, what are you guys doing with that stamp? And so I showed him, and I said, oh, I just stamped my little journal on the envelope with it. And he's like, oh, I have a great idea. So he takes out his passport. I think it was a US passport. I don't remember. I could be wrong. And he looked at the back, and he decided, you know, I want to stamp my passport with it. So he stamped his passport. And the way he stamped his passport, like, he thought about it, you know, how he's going to do this one on top of this one. You can tell the guy was kind of creative. And I thought, wow, what a great idea. I wish I had my passport. I could have done the same. But then I don't know if we would get in trouble by the government if you put some stamp like this. I don't know if that's allowed, but I do have a lot of passport, the old ones that have some pages in there that are empty. So I thought maybe next time I can take those off, take it with me, and do what the guy did. So I thought that was a great idea. So that was the story for that. Then at the airport, Portland it was very easy. It's right by the baggage claim. I did look for it in Dallas. We don't have anything like this. In Portland, they have a visitors center. They had a lot of magazine you can grab, a brochure, that has maps and everything. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, I ripped out what I needed for my journal. I didn't take all the brochure with me at home. It would have been way too heavy. But they also had this little passport, and it's for the Bent Ale Trail. So if you were interested in beer, if I knew this, we might have done this, but we didn't. But this was a little passport that I thought was so cute because, as you can see, it's got some cool design in it, and it even has some artwork in there that I thought, oh, that's kind of cute to put in a journal. And just the idea of, tiny little passport, I just think it's so cute. I'm definitely going to make one for my next trip. So in case I see one that has stamps, even this one, I think each of these brewery would have been able to stamp on here. So I thought that's really neat. I only thought they did this in Japan, but apparently US does them too. So be ready. Be ready to have something. As you can see, this is just plain white. I wish it was a little bit decorative, but if you're ready, you can have a better looking one than mine. Then the next thing was, I wasn't sure if they still printed out tickets. It's been a while since I traveled by plane, so I wasn't aware. But if you use one of those kiosks thing, I'm not going to show you the whole front, but you can print your boarding pass. So there's my boarding pass. This is through the kiosk, but if you line up, you get better paper. You will get something like this. This is a receipt for our luggage, but you get the normal size that we're used to if you line up. And sometimes, I wasn't willing to line up because the line was long. So that was pretty much it for my trip. Now, my plan is, like I said, I will be making a journal for my Portland trip. I have an idea on how I'm putting it together. It's just going to take me a while. And once I finish that, I will show it to you guys. And I'm also working on a ephemeral journal with Susanna and Natalie. They have these challenges that I'm trying to do. And I know I'm not going to finish that by the end of June. So that's going to be along the line of July. Then on top of that, I'm also going to be doing the junk journal July. I'm challenging myself to do that again. So in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, you guys know to leave a comment below. Again, if you guys want a tutorial on how I made this, please let me know. You can message me through making a comment here or through my Facebook account. I want to thank everybody who wished me a good vacation and a birthday. I really had fun with with my vacation, and my birthday was great. Thank you guys so much for your support. Until next time, happy crafting.